Hello, this is Ted Argyle from Adrenalin Martial Arts Centre, and welcome to day 28 of 30, where I explore the 30 lessons that I've learned as a full-time martial artist, a full-time martial arts instructor, and as a business owner for the last 20 years. Today we're going to talk about something I've learned as a business owner, and this is the importance of striking a good work-life balance. To give a bit of a backstory, when I first started my school, which is 20 years ago, I was working 70 hours a week, and I did that for about 10 years. So I'm maybe not the best one to talk about being balanced. I spent a good chunk of my time, certainly that first 10 years was 70 hours a week. And as the years have progressed, I've tried to reduce my workload to a more sensible one. And it was only a handful of years ago that it sort of crept it way up to 50 to 60 hours again. So I've sort of put my foot down now, and I'm really only trying to work no more than about 35 hours a week. And the reason it's 35 is numerous. I have other responsibilities now. We've got a family starting soon. My wife is pregnant and due in February. So I 100% acknowledge that my previous working life of 50, 60, 70 hours a week is just not the right thing to do by a partner, and definitely not the right thing to do by a child. I have plenty of friends in the martial arts world who have made lots of sacrifices, and many times they're not in the same position I am in, meaning they're in a very large populace. They have 400, 500, 600 students. And along with 400, 500, 600 students becomes a whole lot of responsibilities that I don't have to bear because my school is a lot smaller. And consequently, they've worked their asses off for a long time, and many of them are still pulling in, 50 hours a week. And unfortunately, one of the big sacrifices is family, meaning that they don't get to spend much time with their wife and children. For the simple fact that the kids go to school between 9 and 3:30, and after 3:30 is when in our business of martial arts, that's when we're the busiest. So I have many friends who've sort of fallen in and out of relationships, both with their spouses and their children, for the simple fact that the school has been their dominant what would you say, time sucker. And I was talking to one of my members recently who also has a business, and we're both relaying the importance of, in business, it's very important to work towards the goal of a work-life balance, which is hard to do, particularly as a general rule. If you're a small business person, you're generally wired a little bit different. We tend to work extremely hard to achieve the goals that we set for ourselves and the goals that we set for our business. And it's not always about money. It's about servicing your community. It's providing, in my instance, a good, safe environment with practical self-defense and practical martial arts skills. And that doesn't come easy. That's taken a lot of work on my part. As I said at the start, 70 hours a week, and whittle down to 60 and then 50, and in the recent 6 months I've got it down to about 35 hours per week, and I think that's sensible. I would even like to get a little bit lower if I can as I mature and get a little bit older in age, for the simple fact that your priorities change, and I think if you are maturing and you're developing as a person, your priorities should change. And if you've got a business, you can't be working 50, 60, 70 hours a week for the rest of your life. I have a few other business friends who have basically worked themselves into a grave. For what though? For what? For a few more dollars in the bank and maybe a nice car and a big flash house? Well, all that's fine, but if you can't enjoy that with a family, or if you can't enjoy it yourself, or you can't enjoy those sorts of things with your friends, then what's the point? So I guess one of the big lessons that I've learned as a small business owner is it's not necessarily You don't necessarily have to work 800 hours a week to carve yourself out a living. And if you do have to work 800 hours a week, you seriously need to look at what you're doing and how you're doing it. That's been a hard lesson for me to learn, and I'm still wired to work very, very hard. And I find myself with a little bit of an internal struggle to not be at the school all of the time. But as I said before, I've put my foot down to ensure the happiness of myself and my family, and to ensure the longevity that I want in my career as a full-time martial artist and a full-time martial arts instructor. And the only way that's going to happen is if I look after myself. And working 60 hours a week is not looking after yourself, unfortunately. It's the type of thing you can do when you're 20 and when you've got no responsibilities, fine. But as you mature, I think that you should try and grow your business in such a way that you develop some lifestyle balance. As one of my mentors said, the ultimate goal in any sort of business is to obtain lifestyle freedom. Most of us will never get that full lifestyle freedom, meaning that we can sort of leave the business go for 6 to 12 months without even stepping in the door. But we can, at bare minimum, adjust our work schedules and adjust our working life to accommodate things like family and other things that we have outside of our businesses. Anyway, that's one of the hard lessons that I've learned as a business owner. And I'll leave you with that thought, and I'll talk to you tomorrow in day 29. We have 2 left. Thanks for watching. Bye.